Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Giant Connoisseur. My name is Jordan Amunbay, and today I got a very special list for you guys. Today I'll be speaking about heavy hitters for the summer. This is the fragrances that I call my heavy hitters that I can put on in any place, anywhere, and I am going to make a scene and people are going to notice me and I'm going to get complimented wherever I go. This, for all intents and purposes, might be the greatest summer list of all times. But for today's video, let's just stick to heavy hitter summer fragrances. Let's get into it. First on the list, you've seen me speak about this fragrance since the beginning of this year. And I have spoke extremely highly of this fragrance, and I believe they should be in every man's closet or fragrance collection. This is none other than Dior Cologne. And what you get in here, you get a citrusy, musky floral fragrance, man. This fragrance, every time, it is just so ice cold and chilling. I don't know how they were able to accomplish that, but every time I wear this fragrance, I just get this refreshing feeling, almost like ice squeezed lemonade, like that feeling when you drink a very ice cold citrusy drink. That is the same feeling I get from this bad boy, man. And this thing is freaking phenomenal. It's a compliment getter. Like I can't speak highly enough about this fragrance and what it does, man. And this is one of those fragrances where I am always going to have it in my collection. That being said, make sure you get your nose on Dior Cologne. Next on the list is another heavy hitter, and I am quite annoyed that this fragrance doesn't get talked about more often than it should, because this fragrance right here, man, since I got it last summer, has had me in a chokehold. This is none other than Bohemian line from Goldfinger's and Banks. And what you get here, you get a very citrusy, woody fragrance. Like, this fragrance is extremely citrusy. I think it has the notes of finger lime, which gives it this very sharp citrus. It has bergamot, lemon, orange, amberwoods, and some woody notes, but dang, this thing is amazing. Oh my goodness, this bad boy. See, I've been trying to mize it so that way I don't go through it, because I'll have gone through it, but as you can tell, man, that is all that's left in the bottle. And I got this last summer, and I've been enjoying this, like, especially, man, this year, man, the heat has been extremely hot. I think today was about like 101 degrees or something like that, man. And if in Florida, you know, the heat plus the humidity ain't no joke. But this is where you need a fragrance that can keep you refreshed and uplifted in this high heat humidity weather that we have here in Florida. Like I said, man, this fragrance is a banger. I've worn it a lot. Compliment getting, all of the above. There's at least so much I can say about this fragrance, but nonetheless, man, get your nose on this. This is Goldfinger and Banks Bohemian Lime. Next on the list is a fragrance that is a derivative of another fragrance, the popular fragrance known as Bulgari Tiger. And this right here is Kajal number 3. And what you get in here, you get a ton of citruses. You get a peroxide, ginger, some patchouli, and some woody notes. And essentially, why I prefer this more than Tiger is it kind of does its own thing where the citruses are extremely popping off the top. And because of the various citruses that we use in this variation, it kind of makes this very cooling effect. Like, as I'm holding this bottle right now, it is quite cool, which is shocking. It kind of gives the same feeling that I get from Dior Cologne, but kind of the Bulgari Tiger way. And This one is also not as sharp as Bulgari Tiger. I feel like this one has a more rounded aspect to it, which is why I prefer this over Bulgari Tiger. And yeah, man, the performance is amazing, projection is amazing, compliment getting is amazing. So this is another heavy hitter that I have in my collection. And if you do have Bulgari Tiger and the other likes like Vibrato, Arrakis, and what's the other one? Insidious Ginger. Actually, I think Insidious Ginger is kind of a lot different from this one, where it can kind of have both. But if you have Bulgari Tiger, you don't really need to have this one. But if you do not have any of those fragrances, this bad boy here is a banger. Get your nose in this. This is Kajal number 3. Next on the list is Kasmarati's Mephisto Gentiluomo. And what you get on here, you get a citrusy, woody floral fragrance. This has notes of musk, lavender, ton of citruses, ambers, and woods. And oh my goodness, this thing is just such an amazing fragrance to wear. And it just performs like a champ in the hot weather. I still when you think about this, think about if someone took the Silver Monte water DNA, made it a lot more citruses in there, blasted it with a ton of citruses and some woods at the end. That's what you get it is to my nose. And this has been an amazing wear. It can be dressed up, dressed down, but this for the summertime, for the heat, man, freaking amazing, gorgeous, phenomenal fragrance here. 10 out of 10 in my book. Get your nose on this. This is Kasmarati's Mephisto Gentiluomo. Next on the list is another heavyweight. This is none other than Nishan's Oolong Cha. And what you get in here, you get a ton of citruses, you get tea, musks. This thing is such a herbaceous, fresh, slightly fruity, citrusy type of fragrance, man. The tea, and the tea that they use here specifically is oolong tea. The note of the oolong tea gives it this a little bit grassy type feel to my nose, but the citruses help uplift that out of there where it doesn't feel like just like dirt. So it is an extremely elevated fragrance, perfect for the summertime. Oh my goodness, this thing is a banger. And if you know about Nishan, all their fragrances are all heavy hitters, and they project and perform very, very well in the high heat. Need a fragrance for this summer, heavy hitters? Like I said, man, this is the heavy hitters list for the summertime. Get your nose in this. This is none other than Nishan's Oolong Cha. Next on the list is one of my favorite finds of 2023. I remember I discovered this on my trip in London and Harrods. And upon first sniff, I fell in love. I said to myself, I needed to take this fragrance home with me at all costs. This is none other than Vetiver Imaginaire by the Edenist. What you get in here, you get a ton of citruses, woods, slightly creamy type of fragrance, but very, very citrusy. This thing here, man, I have worn this in so much. It gives this very refreshing feeling when you wear it. It's very uplifted and invigorating, almost like the previous fragrances I mentioned, like Dior Cologne or Mephisto Gentiluomo. But the other best I can explain this fragrance is if you took Terre de Hermes and you took everything that made it so dry and you added so much citrus to it and you kind of took that metallic inkiness about it, a little bit out of that too, you get this, man. Every time I've worn this fragrance, nothing but compliments. It does what you care about. And on top of that, this performs like a champ in the high heat. That is why this is on my heavy hitters list. Get your nose in this, and I believe this should be an extremely hype fragrance. This is Vetiver Imaginaire by the Edenist. Next on the list is from a house that, in my personal opinion, they make the best fresh fragrances on the market. This is none other than Louis Vuitton's Meteor. Oh my goodness, this fragrance here, man. I was a heavy sleeper on Louis Vuitton fragrances, and thankful for my wife, who was the person to go ahead and buy me my first Louis Vuitton fragrance. I think it was this one. I haven't looked back ever since. Oh my goodness. They smell simplistic, but the magic that they perform once you put them on, phenomenal. Oh my goodness. This fragrance, and what you get here is a ton of citruses and some woody notes and some spices on the back end. This thing is such a performer in the high heat. And on top of that, it is a crowd pleaser to the T. I have worn this everywhere, and everywhere I've worn it to, everybody has asked me, "Hey, Jordan, what you got on? What you got on?" And I always go, none of your business, man. You know, I got to keep this close to the chest, but nah, I'm just joking. But being serious here, man, this thing is amazing. Oh my goodness, I am blown away about how Louis Vuitton can make such simplistic fragrances that don't smell like anything else, but are still phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoy this bad boy. This thing is a banger, certified banger. Get your nose in this. This is Louis Vuitton's Meteor. Next on the list is the most hyped fragrance of 2024. And rightfully so, because it deserves all the hype in the world. This is none other than Ex Nihilo's Blu Talisman. Hey man, heavy hitters, heavyweight. This thing pound for pound, oh my goodness, might be one of the most powerful summer fragrances in my entire collection. Oh my goodness. This fragrance, what you get here, you get a musky, fruity, citrusy, slightly floral, woody fragrance. That's what this is. But oh my goodness, this thing smells amazing. I remember it had sold out last year, and I had to order mine from the UK because I needed to own it. And I must say, probably one of the greatest blind buys in my entire blind buy history. Although I don't encourage you to do it because you just waste a ton of money. But as for someone who used to indulge in blind buying a ton of fragrances, this one was a 100% hit on the money. Oh my goodness. This thing, it performs well. It's a crowd pleaser. It lasts a long time. People love it, and it's also very sophisticated. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I had to put this on my shelf, so I don't use all of it because I'm just trying to make sure I enjoy all of my fragrances in my entire collection. That being said, man, if you don't have this in your collection, I suggest you go get this bad boy, because Blu Talisman, I call this freaking Mike Tyson. This is Mike Tyson right here, man. This is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, heavy hitter, 3-piece combo, straight to the nostrils. Compliments, whatever you want, man. If you're a guy, just go ahead, man. Spend that $300 and just go and get this bad boy. Or if you can get it on discounters, which I suggest that you do, go ahead and get it, man. I promise you, you'll not be disappointed. But like I always say, make sure you sample before you buy, okay? That being said, such an amazing fragrance, an amazing composition. Get your nose on this. This is none other than Ex Nihilo's Blu Talisman. Well, we've come to the end of part 1 officially for this series. Part 2 will have some more bangers for you guys. But until then, man, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, Giant Connoisseur out.